Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing good. All right. We'll burn this. We're going to cleanse the energies. I would. My singing bowls are way back there, and I'm not going to walk over there to go get them. But happy Sunday, or whenever you watch this, it's going to be a timeless message. So, grab you something to drink, as have I. And we're going to have us a good old time. I am going to do a reading, so, Hey, sis. How are you? All right. I wanted to do a live, a particular message. So if y'all see me using a certain deck and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not pregnant. It's not about literal pregnancy. Unless you're pregnant as well, even better. How are you, Gabby? End of Taurus season, right? We are out of Taurus season. I know. Hey, Kay. How are you? I'm good. Can't complain. How are y'all doing? I'm trying to get my sippy sip over here. Trying to get my sippy sip. Okay. So I wanted to do this live for those who feel like they are. Ooh, girl. Shoot. Hold on. I cannot. This iPad stand drives me nuts. Hold on. I have to be careful. Obviously, I have to be careful. I wanted to do this live for those of you that might be like kind of just, I don't know, not really like triggered or upset, but maybe just a little confused. Like maybe you feel like you've been in a particular spot in your journey for a long time, or you're waiting for like a specific prophecy to manifest, or you feel like certain things have not come to pass or something like that. Like you've waited, you've prayed, and still nothing, right? You feel like I've done the work. What's going on? What's up with me, right? But this isn't a punishment, okay? You're not stuck. A lot of us are in sacred labor right now. We're in that final push, okay? We're that last contraction before the push, right? So I'm going to help you, hopefully I'll be able to help you at least. That's my intention. I really have to be careful with this iPad though. Look, it's doing it again. Like, sis, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? Okay, put my little treasure troll thing, my lighter to hold it. Do something ghetto. Okay, this is for you. All right. Well, y'all came to the right place. So we're going to tap in, okay? See what's going on. What is the sacred cycle that we are currently in? Let's tap in to that first. Holy Spirit, our angels, our ancestors, our guides, who have our best will and intentions, keepers of divine wisdom and light and truth. For those that are in this space, winter, just letting you know, I'm live. I don't know what you're doing if you ain't dressed. Live. All right, so you have the mother card. What do you need? No, okay, no sassy. You have the vaginal canal. I don't know, can we say these things on YouTube? The clitoris, the little spot, menopause, and the orgasm. I love it. I love it. Okay. So where you're at right now on your journey, you're right on the cusp of giving birth to something. And I say this often because I feel like it's the best way I can describe the feeling of when you're about to receive a breakthrough. Is like when just before you're about to give birth to a child. It's very pressuring, it hurts, right? And you want to get the baby out. You just want to push. Naturally, your body is like, just do it, just push, right? But that doesn't mean that it feels good. That doesn't mean that it feels like the release that you would want, right? It's like this very anxious, very pressured like feeling. So when it comes to the things that you're desiring, when you're in the midst of a breakthrough, or when you're about to break through it, it doesn't feel like it. You're just trying to just push through as best as you can. And you might even be tired in the process. You might, have to breathe through it, like the mothers, they have to go breathe, do their breathing exercises and so on and so forth. So you have to breathe through the process, but you're very close because you got the mother card right here and she's holding her baby. So whatever your baby is, whatever that thing, that prayer, that desire, that goal, that ambition, that vision that you hold, nurture it till the not even till the end, like even when you do get it, but it's like you're in the period space of that. With the orgasm and the the lady pearl here, that can represent like the genesis of your creation, your desire, that peak, that thing that when it first, like, you got to remind yourself sometime when you're on your journey, why you want the things that you wanted, what brought you to the journey in the first place, what was that thing or that experience, that download, that prophecy that brought you to this place, that spot, that place that brought you that pleasure, that ecstasy, that joy. You have to find that again, right? Because they might feel like menopause, like there's nothing happening, there's nothing going on. Everything seems to be very stagnant. Everything seems to starting to slow down. And if you ever pay attention to like law of attraction videos and ones that really talk about the vibrational um, flow of a manifestation and how it has its different seasons and points, um, of momentum. The point or the time where it feels like there's no more signs of synchronicities happening, the human mind goes, oh, my manifestation is no longer manifesting. It's no longer working. Rather than taking it as like, it's already done, it is manifesting. I'm closer to it than I think. I don't need all these signs to keep me going or to keep proving to me that it's happening or to let me know I'm in alignment. I should already know I'm in alignment, right? So when you're going through that process of menopause in your body, spiritually speaking, let's say like you're starting to notice things changing or things seem to be slowing down. You're not having your flow like you usually do. You might be having in betweens, or where it might be months before your next one comes, right? So the manifestations, it seems like they're slowing down or they're not happening. But what's really going on is that you're closer to birth, if that makes sense. Like it's happening in its divine order and its divine timing. And menopause usually comes with older age, right? So you're in the older age or season of your blessing, if that makes sense. Like it's already matured past that genesis, that beginning state. So even as a mother energy, you nurture your children, you nurture your blessings, your gifts, your prophecies, your desires, even when you have them, right? You don't stop loving your children, your babies, just when you have them, right? Or no matter how old they get, you still love them. You learn through the journey of being a mother. And I'm speaking metaphorically. This isn't just about women or babies or pregnancy, but I'm using this as an example of the spiritual birth of something. You birthing even yourself out. It's like, I see this for myself. I see myself here, X, Y, and Z. I see myself doing this. I see myself doing that. Why isn't this happening? Why aren't the opportunities coming to me? Why aren't the blessings coming to me? Like what is happening? What is going on? Okay. So you're in that state, you're very close. And the more pressuring, I tell you, like the more pressuring it gets, the more um the more annoying it can feel, and even troubling sometimes, to be like, it's just not happening. Why is it not happening? But you're about to give birth. Like, this is the canal, right? This is the void. This is the peak of that vision. It just hasn't materialized, but that doesn't mean that it's not there, that it's not poking out, that it's not coming to you. And it's number 44. That could be significant to some of you, like as far as an angelic message. So let's pull some tarot. I'm going to use this pregnancy tarot. This deck, I've had this in my wish list for maybe over a year. And I just got it. I was guided to get this pregnancy tarot. And it's not just for physical pregnancy. I really love this deck a lot. This deck is on point. All right. The message for those that are in that in between or that point of feeling like they're giving up or they don't know what's going on, losing faith, not able to trust, feel like they've been led to a deserted island with no coconut, no water, no watermelon. There's like a little kid nursery rhyme. Y'all probably know it. I think I sung it a long time ago, but we used to sing this in elementary school in music class. I don't know why, but down by the bay where the watermelons grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do. And then it was like some dumb shit after that. Have you ever seen a llama eating pajamas and shit? I'm like, no, I haven't. I don't think I want to. I don't see the point of that. But yeah, you know, being just like spirit, y'all leading me to this deserted island, ain't nothing on it. Like what y'all trying to do? What are you saying? What is happening? Justice. You're not doing this alone. You have help. Look, there's that baby. Your wish, your dreams, your prophecy, your ambitions. Imagination is needed. Maybe, yeah. That's your dream, your wish. And I feel like you, your ancestors, or some sort of spiritual midwife energy is like there with you. Okay. Someone that's helping you. If it's a physical person in your presence or in your life, or this can represent many people that could represent that spiritual midwife, that eldest woman in the card, or this could be literally like your ancestors, or a reminder, like of something that maybe before one of your elders passed, they gave you a significant message to you. And this might be a message that's going to help you remember this prophecy. Now, for some of you, you were given a prophecy at a very young age. So this is maybe something that is a little older than certain things that you wanted as of now. Like, oh, I want to see this part of the world, or I want to, you know, this purpose and do this and that, or I want to get married, I want to meet my divine partner, whatever. It might be something, or like, I want to get this job opportunity. Like, it may not be something that is that linear, that right here, right now. It might be something that you've heard since you were a child. So it's like you've been holding on to that prophecy, that vision, that truth that was spoken over you, and you remind yourself of it. Like I said, it could be an ancestor or someone that is now an ancestor, that you're reminded of their words, their encouragement. With the Justice card, it very well could be that this is something that this is your birthright, you know? It's bigger than just you or just like what you're doing or how it's going to manifest, because it does involve maybe others, or this could be something generational or beneficial to bloodline, family. The Youth of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups in this deck. Yeah, this was something like when you were a child. Two of Cups. The Three of Cups, they necklace. I can't show you that too long. And the Ten of Cups. You have support. You have support. And it could be people that you know that's supporting of you, or this could be behind the scenes, or like I said, this could be like divine team, ancestors, or all of the above. But this was something that was driven from a young age. Like, you knew something when you were young, something that was prophesied or told to you as a young age, and you kept that in your heart, and you've been moving and walking towards that. And feels like every reflection or everything that you've gone through in your life, it's like, okay, it feels like it is connected to it. It's 7:11 p.m. here, if that means anything to any of y'all, 7:11. It is a prayer. It is a wish. It is something that is divinely aligned. And it's since you were a child. You've had to, I don't know, maybe some of you guys always felt like you were by yourself, you were alone, and this could be a part of the journey where you struggle the most, where you feel like at times you're not seen or you're not believed in sometimes, or you're not as supported or supported at the times where you feel like you need it the most. Or, yeah. But though, but who's to say that she's having a tea party by herself? Like some of you guys, if you grew up by yourself, you had tea parties by yourself as a little kid, or you played with your trucks by yourself, you didn't have anybody else. It could be a sign of you being the oldest, or you being either the youngest and your siblings are way older than you, so you didn't really have much people to play with, or you were the only child. In those moments where you like spent by yourself, and it wasn't always like a pity party, but like when you spent those times by yourself, divine spirit was in company with you. Does that make sense? Like, not saying that divine source cannot be in company amongst you and other children, but in the times where you were by yourself, source God was like their presence was more prevalent in your life, more louder than it would have been if other people's presence was there, or you were distracted by other people's energy or presence. So sometimes like you had to spend time by yourself or alone. Some of you guys, I don't know, this back in the day might have been a little more safer to do than nowadays, even with ring cameras and shit like that. But sometimes kids would stay at home by themselves while their parents would be at work, especially if their parents work nights or worked like graveyard shifts and things like that. So maybe during those times by yourself, or you stayed with a babysitter, you stayed with a grandparent or something, you still spent time by yourself or something. Or you might have had cousins or people like that that might have picked on you at times or ostracized you or pushed you out. So you might have dealt with that time where you felt like you were alone. But again, like I said, in those moments, divine's presence was such loud, much more louder than anyone's presence could ever be. So you might have had supernatural encounters. You have a lot of cups too. So these could be things that you feel rather than what you see and what you hear. So this could be a sign of your spiritual gift as a empath or as a clairsentient gift. Um, there's someone else that's going to benefit from your gift, and not like in an energy vampire type of way or like a destiny swapper, but um, your win is someone else's win. Like it also inspires and encourages them. You have someone that wants to see this happen for you, not so that they can benefit from it, but it's almost like you give me permission to believe in myself, believe in God, or and or my own purpose and calling. Like it's something generational too, very healing, very blessed. You look at, I can't show you this too much because they're all naked, but it's women in a pool together. They got fruits, they got their chalices. This feels like a retreat or some sort of sacred circle or group. And it's, how do I explain this? Because I picked this up a long time ago. Like it would be like a group of people coming together with their own gifts, their own expertise, and like it being a big blessing, a tenfold blessing, because all of these, not all these energies, but the right people collaborating and coming together in the right circumstances, right energy, right intentions, showing up with their gifts and celebrating not only their own gift, but celebrating others' gifts as well. It's like this community type of energy that you could be a part of. So this isn't just, you're not going to be by yourself. The Nine of Swords. This makes me think of Aset or Isis energy. Some of you guys may work with Aset. That could be the mother goddess that you resonate with the most. Maybe even Mayat energy. Can't remember what the Nine of Swords is, so I think it's Nine of Swords. I don't know if it's a moon in Aquarius. I cannot remember what the Nine of Swords is, but or if it's a Gemini card, I cannot remember. Actually, I think it's Gemini. 2, 3, and 4 is Libra. 5, 6, and 7, I think is Aquarius. 8, 9, and 10, I believe is Gemini, if I'm not mistaken, of Swords. So this very well could happen during Gemini season, where you work with some sort of divine mother's energy. I feel like the wings can represent a form of protection, a form of compassion, a form of like you being in the mother's um, wings of love, right? So if this is you working through your fears, this mother divine energy, or this could be a representation of you nurturing yourself. Now, I know for a lot of people that are used to being independent, or even as a child, just being them all the time, or they feel like they didn't have a safe space to be nurtured and loved and heard and seen and spoken into, or um encouraged, or may have had to understand and accept that their parent couldn't always be there, even if they wanted to, making those necessary sacrifices, um, and understanding like, okay, well, this is just what it is. I have to accept that mommy has to go to work, or daddy has to go to work, or they can't be here all the time. Um, but yeah, this energy is freeing, but at the same time, it's like you might have to work through the fear that you have before you can see the blessing and where you're going, because she's still pregnant. So this could be a lot of fear around, you know, um, could be a fear, when you're about to give birth to something. I don't know if you guys ever felt this before, but sometimes what will come over you is a fear of having it. Like, oh, I might actually have this, or experience this, or become this, or live this out. What am I going to do when I have it? It's like imposter syndrome a little bit. It's a little bit of a fear of the unknown. Am I capable? Am I worthy? Is it going to look the way that I really think it's going to? It's those fears. So like when a person is having a baby, it's like, I'm excited to have this baby, but at the same time, I'm afraid, am I going to be a good parent? Is my baby going to be healthy? Are they going to have, am I going to have complications? Is the baby going to have complications? What's going to happen thereafter is the fear of it, right? And I feel that's natural. Then the fact that you have the Nine of Swords here, to me, the nine, we're in the year of the nine right now, 2025 numerology, um, numerically is number 9. Um, and 9 could represent completion or the end of a cycle. You would think the 10, but 10 technically to me is a beginning, or creating a new beginning, or an ending within a beginning. But you are on the cusp of your breakthrough. So whenever you watch this, whenever you see it, it is divinely timed. All right. I'm going to move on to, I'm going to use this deck. This is another deck that I love. It's the Moon is a Mother Pregnancy Oracle. I love this deck so much. So let's see what else. Hey, Leslie, how are you? Kyla, hey, how are you? Elephant with the Jaguar. Beautiful. I love elephants so much. Jaguar is very powerful. So elephant can represent community as well. There's something very big like about this energy. It might seem lightweight at the same time, but there's a weight to it in a good way. There's power behind it. Okay, it's prosperous. These could be animal totems for you, especially elephants. Maybe Ganesh. Ganesh might be symbolic to some of you. What number is this? 11 and 12. So Jaguar is 12, Elephant 11. I want to see what these mean real quick. Okay, so the elephant, yeah, community is indispensable and truly it does take a village to raise both a parent and a child. Surround yourself with loved ones. Be like the elephant who creates a circle of protection when a member of the herd is in labor. Lean into your community and call on them for support. Embrace those who have children and those who don't. Everyone has a role to play. A healthy connection are essential even as you disconnect from the harmful ones. A healthy connection can still experience bumps along the journey, but an unhealthy one is nothing but bumps, a road you cannot travel without uh, constant injury, emotional or otherwise. The Jaguar says your intuition is spot on. Don't let others reduce it or dismiss it as irrational. Embrace your ability to strike down any threat to you and your baby before it reaches you. Additional meaning. Although your partner is hopefully a wonderful support, they can't be with you at every moment. So prepare to be alone with your baby, capable and confident. Build trust in your ability to independently care for your baby. You got this. If jaguars can raise their cubs alone in the jungle, you too can find your way. So symbolically, not a literal baby for some of you. It could be that you're having a baby or that you have a baby that is prophesied to you that you're meant to have, or babies. But what this tells me is that yes, you will have community, you will have people that will there to support you. You have to discern the people that don't have your best intentions as well. It's even more sensitive when it comes to blessings and gifts and prophecies that are not meant to be understood or meant for other people to benefit or be around it. So you do have to protect your baby, aka that dream, that goal, that prophecy, that desire, that ambition that you have that is inside of you, because not everybody has the best intentions for it. There will be times where you're not always going to have the validation of a partner. It doesn't have to be like a romantic partner. It could be a friend, a family member, someone that is always your soundboard of support, right? Where you might have to thug it out on your own. You have to push through these moments on your own. Hey, Christina. Hey, sis. How are you? Um, but you got this nonetheless. Like you yourself, you're stronger than you realize. And like I said, this goes for those of you that are used to kind of being your own source of support sometimes, because maybe you felt like you had no choice, or literally you had no choice. Let's see what else. Ancestors. Yeah. So this is the energy I was saying, like, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. So it's like, and you have the support of them, okay? Um, they're helping to bring this to you. This might be something that was before you were even born, or something that was, because a lot of us do have ancestors that were prophets and prophetesses themselves, that had spiritual gifts, the ability to see the future, the ability to call in what they feel like they needed, their bloodline. They knew the right type of medicines, healing, their spiritual, the rituals. They knew how to tap in when they, and I feel like there's something about something about like someone like you already being prophesied way before you even came, or when your mother was pregnant with you, someone knew. And you know that scripture, it's a popular scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. Paraphrasing, where God knew Jeremiah before he was even formed in his mother's womb. I already knew you, the plans that I have for you. So there's an ancestor, or someone that is now an ancestor, someone that has already passed on, that knew of something about what you were to become, even if they didn't even know you. They were generations before you, or they knew you in your mother's womb, what and who you were. Okay. I'm going to read that card, the meaning of that card, but I wanted to look at the bottom of the deck, and you have number 38 with the machete. I always think of her as really done to her. I'm telling you, like, her energy be popping up so much lately, that is crazy. The machete makes me think of her energy. You don't know who Arzuli Dantor. Look her up, and there's an image of her. It's always going to be with her dagger, sometimes a machete, and her baby on one side. That is that protectress energy I'm picking up. In short, there's so much more symbolic meanings to Arzuli Dantor's essence and energy, but I'm getting that protectress, that mother that protects and defends their child. It is Haitian Day, right? It is. If I'm not mistaken, it's Haitian Day today. Um, but her colors are red and blue, typically. That might be significant to some of you, but I do know that you have to defend and protect what is yours, what is your blessing. Okay. Yes. Shout out to the Haitians, the Haitian ancestors. Shout out to them, the descendants. I'm gonna read the ancestors card real quick. It says our ancestors walk with us at all times. They're everywhere. Their prayers from before we even came to be have carried us our whole lives. Child, y'all want to read it with me? Y'all want to see it? Make sure and nobody bullshit, nobody harm. Y'all want to see that real quick? Y'all want to screenshot that? Okay. Anywho, it says this is a reminder that you are not alone, even when the room feels empty. I ain't opened these cards but a day, and have not read this card. So I'm going to read that again. This is a reminder that you are not alone, even when the room feels empty, and you can call on them for support. When you give birth to a future ancestor every time. They're active in all of this, including guiding your baby into this world. Additional meaning, do more ancestral veneration to elevate your bloodline and give them thanks for all that they do. You don't have to give your ancestors the props. When this comes through, source, God, the people that helped you, your ancestors, like, you can even start thanking them now, because there's things that they've moved and shifted for you, your divine team has, in ways that maybe you don't see fully, or you know that could have only been God, that could only have been my divine team that has come through for me. So you have to know that if this is purposeful, this is not just a fleshly desire, or it's not even a fleshly desire at all. There's purpose to this, because sometimes we may not always understand the desires that we have in our heart until later down the line, or if we care enough to discern, like, why do I want this? Why do I feel called to this path? Why do I feel called to this X, Y, and Z? Or is this thing that has been spoken to me, is this really my purpose or calling, or is this someone else's vision of what they have for me? But oftentimes, like, there's always going to be someone that affirms something that's on the inside of you. And I feel like those are like divine messengers that God sends to you, just like there will be those people that were sent to attack you at a very young age, to speak curses over you so that you won't complete your life's purpose or mission, or be the person that you were called to be in this lifetime. Just as you have the enemy, you're going to have the angel on the other shoulder that validates you and speaks into you before you were even born. And if not, it's people see you. There's going to be someone in your life that's going to see you, that see you for you, that is going to pour into you and speak into you. And there's going to be those that see you that are sent to attack you, whether they know it or not, consciously or subconsciously, or they see the gift and it intimidates them. So how can I attack it? How can I, get you to give this all up, or to doubt yourself, or to think you're not good enough, or to want you to take your own self out, or just say, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not loving, or I'm not capable of this, and no one's ever going to love me, or I'm never going to be this. I'm never, like, there's going to be those attacks there. And I tell people this all the time, like, oftentimes people that have purposes and callings, they're the ones that get spiritually attacked. And what I mean by spiritually attacked is they have those word curses very young that tell them that they're never going to be anything. They're not lovable. They're not wanted. They're usually the people that deal with wanting to unalive themselves. They deal with that, the pressure of that. They deal with addiction. They deal with depression. Those are, I don't, because I don't want to come off as insensitive, because I've been in those positions as well. So this is not me like attacking a mental health of a person, but I do believe that it is mental and psychological, but I also believe it's spiritual. So those are word curses where people all of a sudden they just don't want to live anymore, or they hate themselves, or they're depressed. Oftentimes it's energies of people they have around them that don't really have the best intentions. They struggle with these word curses from very young ages, and it manifests and it gets bigger. So let's say it's a seed that's planted at 5 years old. Or another sensitive thing, trigger warning real quick, where people deal with essays as children, being inward by adults at a young age, right? Um, so that's a big thing, too, in generational traumas and patterns is like, you know, PDF files in the family or around children and adults growing up with the trauma of that, and it might manifest itself in different forms of addiction and depression and not wanting to be here, and those are seeds planted. So you have to imagine, the more that seed is being watered, the more those convictions, you start to believe that they're true, and you start looking at your life experience and you're starting to think, oh well, this is happening to me because I'm unworthy or I'm unlovable. No one's ever going to love me because this happened to me as a kid, or I was told I was always going to be stupid and nothing, will never amount to anything. And that's why I can't move forward in life. That's why I'm not getting the opportunity. So it's things that seem to validate that seed that's watering it, and it just grows and it grows. But if you think about the seed that is planted, that is the love and the light seed, the truth and the wisdom of who you truly are, the more that is watered, or the people that come into your experience to water that, you'll find that in that garden that you are, you're going to have to pull that seed, or that growing seed of what it's become, those negative word curses, you're going to have to pull those out of your garden. So that means you're going to have to deal with yourself. You are going to have to go within self and heal those traumas, because if you don't, they're going to continue to sprout. They're going to continue to grow. And then it's going to be in competition with the other side that says, no, you are validated, you are loved, you are chosen, you are important, you are, you have a special purpose. You're meant to be here. There's something that you do contribute to this world. You have to find what that is for you. And it may not be being famous or being popular, but that doesn't have to equate to being someone of importance. Sometimes popularity is nothingness. Fame is nothingness. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't contribute much to the world. So it doesn't always have to be that's the purposeful for people, or that you have this Nelson Mandela level of influence, or Mother Teresa's and Gandhi's. It doesn't have to be those type of influential energies, but your environment, your world, or your community, even if it's a small community. So when you water that, when you validate that, or you come across people that will help you, you're going to have to start clearing out those weeds to even see the beauty in your garden. If you got that other seed, that other plant that's just sprouting with bullshit, you're going to have to pull that out or let it die. Don't water it anymore, right? So I'm going to read the machete card real quick, and then I'm going to close this thing out. And I opened it right to the page. It's funny when that happens. But it says you're being weighed down by connections that are doing more harm than good. You cannot bring these with you. So it is time to let them go. Cut the cords and release yourself. Peace is an active choice, not a passive one. And we have to make it over and over. And we often make a point to choose peace when we know that what it is to choose war. Parenthood can feel like a battle as is. Don't add more fights by binding yourself to other people's negativity. It isn't about abandonment. These relationships have fulfilled their purpose. You need to prioritize yourself and your child now by focus on solid connections that lift you up instead of weigh you down. Okay, so as your child being that seed that's growing inside of you, that prophecy, that blessing, that gift, that talent, that mission, that ambition, that vision, whatever, you have to protect it at all costs. And like I said, there's some people that they're not there for the right reasons. They're not contributing anything. These are energies that may want what you have, or don't know how to even pour into people, don't know how to contribute. It's like they're just takers. So you have to be able to discern and weed out who are the bad seeds, who are the weeds that you need to extract from your garden, that has the potential to try or want to or will suck the life out of whatever it is that you're giving birth to. So think of it as your child. You wouldn't want your child in an environment full of toxic people, drug addicts, alcoholics, people that bring strange people in the home, or doing things in front of a child that they shouldn't, or violence and things like that. You have to think of it in that sense when it comes to your blessing, something as sensitive as that. Why would I want the wrong type of people? I was about to say the cuss word. Why would I want them MFers in my space, in my environment? That's how you got to look at it. It's how you got to see it. Just as spiritual protection for yourself and for the things that you're giving birth to, because sometimes God will not bless us simply because of the fact that the environment that we're in, the people that we're associated with, the lack of boundaries that we have, the lack of self, you know, preservance that we have, or just protecting and preserving our energy, our lack of discernment or our lack of self-worth sometimes, or we don't see our worth. So sometimes we don't see it. Other people will exploit that, right? So other than that, like, I feel like, just to sum this all up, you're very close to this. You just have to remind yourself why you're here, why you started this path, and maybe you don't have the answer right away, but it will come to you. There will be something divine that reminds you of that, that will click on the inside. Okay. Yeah, Saturn return, girl. Yeah, I'm glad I could bring that validation and that confirmation to you. So this is not, I'm never gonna validate y'all egos. Okay, that's not gonna do none of us any good. So if I can, you know, be that to support your light and who you're becoming, I got you. And yeah, and if you guys want to book any of my spiritual doula reading sessions, whether a voice recording or a phone session, 30-minute or hour, it's your choice. Check out my website. Under the booking section will be the phone readings. Under the shop will be the voice recording. And there's 13 different readings that speak of that energy that you may need assistance with. So I will be more than blessed and happy to assist you guys. I appreciate you. Much love. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.